Well, I'm sure we've all seen the advertising lately. Those bright yellow capsule-shaped creatures are back on the big screen, slipping on banana peels and speaking a gibberish language designed to sell billions of dollars in plush toys. Just a regular, colorful kids movie to pass the time. But what if under all that slapstick physical comedy lies a deeply disturbing truth about human nature? What if these movies aren't just innocent children's entertainment, but are actually revealing the hidden architecture of our reality? When you look past the goggles and the overalls, the Despicable Me and the Minions universe presents a perfect, terrifying blueprint of a concept in political psychology known as pathocracy. Think about the definition of a minion. Evolutionarily, they have one defining trait: an innate, compulsive psychological need to find and serve the biggest, baddest villain available. They don't want autonomy. They don't want to lead. They want direction, safety in numbers, and a master to organize them. In the 1940s, a Polish psychologist named Andrzej Lopejewski studied how small groups of psychopathic, empathy-deficient elites systematically seize control of entire societies. He called it pathocracy. In this case, a government ran by monsters. However, a monster can't rule alone. For there to be pathocracy requires two ingredients: the few psychopathic monsters at the top who crave absolute control, and a massive compliant population of minions who willingly abdicate their individual critical thinking to follow the leader's script. They wear the uniforms and execute the orders because it's easier and safer than standing alone. Now look at the background characters in these films. The normal citizens buying groceries, walking their dogs, totally oblivious when Gru stole the moon, or the supervillains are crashing Hollywood. In political science, this is called rational ignorance. It's the vast majority of any society, the people who aren't malicious but are so consumed by the daily grind of survival that they're completely blind to the macro level machinations happening around them every day. As long as the grocery stores are stocked, life just goes on. Historically, children's stories have always been Trojan horses for moral clarity. Take Robin Hood, the stark humanitarian. His focus was entirely outwards. He saw a predatory system hurting the vulnerable, and he risked everything to fix it. Over the last few decades, though, Hollywood underwent a massive shift. We largely abandoned the pure humanitarian hero in favor of the sympathetic villain. We're now focused to spend 2 hours inside the mind of the predator, experiencing their childhood trauma and grading their morality on a curve. We say, well, Gru builds weapons of mass destruction, but look how much he loves his adopted daughters. He's a good guy. This isn't just creative storytelling, it's conditioning. In the real world, actual pathocrats and narcissistic leaders use this exact same playbook. Psychologists call it strategic victimhood. A true predator doesn't rule through fear alone. They weaponize your empathy. When caught in a corrupt act, they don't apologize. They claim they are the ones being persecuted. They use a method called DARVO: deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. They tell the masses the corrupt system is trying to destroy me because I'm fighting for you. Then, because we've been trained by our media to look past a person's destructive actions and focus entirely on how tragic their inner monologue is, we buy it. We protect the predators. By replacing stark humanitarianism with charming, deeply traumatized narcissists, our society has been left in a vacuum. It suggests that being selfish and hyper-focused on your own ego is just human nature, while standing up for absolute justice is just unrealistic or boring. So the next time you see an ad asking you to root for the bad guy, ask yourself, are you experiencing a fun piece of cinema, Or are you being trained to look at the monsters of our world and become their minions? So this is just a quick video I wanted to make because, like I said, I've been seeing the ads for the new Minions and Monsters movie, and in the past when I was younger, I've seen the Despicable Me movies and maybe one or two of the Minion movies, I can't remember, but it struck me that between that, Megamind, the Hotel Transylvania series, or moving away from the animated stuff like The Wolf of Wall Street or the Joker movies, stuff like that, or even American Psycho, like these pieces of media that put you inside the minds of the pathocrats, the psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, or I guess the people who show traits of those things, you know what I mean? Whereas, again, before, someone like Robin Hood was strictly looking at the system, take from the rich, give to the poor. Simple humanitarianism, fighting for justice, fighting against the corrupt system. But then you look at a corporation like Disney and you go, oh, well, why did they change the whole narrative? Because they are part of the corporations that are fucking everyone over. So why would they want to try and empower more people through the media they make, like Robin Hood and stuff like that? But yeah, like as far back as I remember, I've been seeing through this shit, man. Like, I remember as a kid getting pissed off at Dora on the TV because I knew it wasn't real and it wasn't like a real conversation with a person, and it would just be asking me questions that I obviously knew the answers to, but I'm not just gonna yell them at the TV. I don't know, it's just making me laugh, like being a kid getting pissed off that I know the answers, and it's like, what are you asking me for? Do the work yourself. Like, just turn around and look, you know what I mean? But that's obviously, it's kind of like rage baiting the kids, I guess, like trying to get them to talk or answer the questions, which, I don't know, I guess there's some benefit to it, but in terms of my own view of the world, I never really fucked with it. I never really been for, I don't know, the mainstream media stuff that I can really tell distracts people. And then the stuff that I genuinely like, I have to go back and look at it, like, with a deeper lens, you know what I mean? Like, thinking about the Alien and Predator franchise, which, ironic title for this video. But even that is, like, propaganda, making you root for humans against some imagined alien species, right? And the whole point of those movies is to make the people that think they're the top guys, the most badass guys, whatever it is, it takes them down a notch, and it has to remind them, like, oh yeah, there's other people out there in the universe or in the world, whatever it is, that are bigger and badder than me, I guess. But you're still rooting for the people to take out the aliens, you know what I mean? But at least the first few Predator movies, like Predator 1 and 2 and Prey, all of them, they killed the predator, the alien, and the rest of the species acknowledges that as like, oh yeah, that's not easy to do without the armor and the weapons that we have. You actually had to outthink us. Here's a trophy for what you had to go through, right? But then you get to the newer ones, and it's not about that at all. It's just, oh, human versus alien, who's the most badass, who's gonna kill who, but then there's no honor in it, you know what I mean? Even, like, it sounds silly to say, but even something that's strictly based on just who's more badass, even those movies, like in the 90s, which isn't even that long ago, 30 years ago now, damn near 40 years ago now, holy shit, but even they had like an honor system in them, you know what I mean? And it just, I don't know, it's frustrating, but that's like one of the reasons people say, oh, the older movies are so much better. Yeah, because they actually thought about this shit in a more in-depth way. It's not just a narrative they have to keep pushing, you know what I mean? Like, there was actually some creativity back in the day, and nowadays it's all reboots and remasters of the same shit. I don't know. That's just what's been on my mind this morning. I got up at 5 at 6:30 now, so thought I'd make a vid for y'all. If you enjoyed it, let me know what you think in the comments and leave a like on the vid. And subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos. It all helps out a ton. But that being said, I'll leave it here for now. I hope you enjoyed. And like I say at the end of all my vids, I love you, stay safe, good luck, and take it easy.